welcome to Hops and Highways. I'm Jessica Lombardo, editor of Asphalt Contractor Magazine, joined today by Dormy Roberts. As always, we are also with Matt Stanley from American Pavement Specialists. His company, they started the viral industry movement called Raised on Blacktop. He's here today to talk to us a little bit about that. And first, we have some important business to take care of. We want to thank everybody who entered our Koozie Giveaway last week, our fancy Yeti Hops and Highways koozies. This week's winner is Cameron Davenport, and he is the product support sales rep at Cleveland Brothers. So congratulations.
So Cameron, we'll be sending out your koozie out on Monday. If you want to be like Cameron, make sure that you sign up from our forum on our website after the video this week. We'll draw another winner next Friday and every Friday through March. And trust me, you want one of these koozies. So today I'm drinking a Drink Wisconsinably beer by Line & Kugels Brewing Company. It's a lager, so it's like an amber, not as hoppy, but it's still crushable. Jess, what are you drinking today?
So today I have a Panther Cub from Founders Brewing in Michigan. It's one of my favorite breweries. This one is brand new. It's a porter with vanilla extract and maple syrup. It's been aged in bourbon barrels, which I love bourbon, as you can tell. And it's delicious. So Matt, what do you have today that you're drinking with us?
Well, first, you guys definitely need a sponsorship for the beer. Right?
Busch Light, are you listening? Busch Light.
I'll call them. I'll see what I can do.
Okay, thanks.
So I did this collaboration with Budweiser. I don't know if you guys know about this. No, I'm just kidding.
I was going to say, wow, you're really cool.
This is a classic, iconic Budweiser for the classic, iconic Leboy brand. So
we're super excited to have you today, Matt, and thank you for sending us these shirts. They look great. Yes.
Right.
So the Raised on Blacktop movement, it's all over media, and we can't wait to hear more. So kind of start out with telling us about your business, about you, your background, and your company. Give us the rundown.
So can I crack this now?
Yes.
Oh, shoot. I totally forgot. Cheers. That's a fail. Too excited.
So I'm 28 years old. Obviously, I grew up in the blacktop industry. I'm the youngest of 4 boys in my family. So you can imagine what that was like growing up. 4 boys in the paving industry, going to work with dad. The company I work for is American Pavement Specialists, my family company. My dad started the company when he was around 28, 29 years old. He worked for his grandfather growing up, who actually recently passed away 1 year ago to the day. So cheers to him. Taught us everything we know. So my dad worked for his grandfather growing up, learned the industry from him. When he was 28, he decided to break off and start his own company, American Pavement. So that's what it's grown in today. We've been in business almost 27 years now. And yeah, that's our life.
That's an awesome history. So Can you tell us a little bit more about the Raised on Blacktop initiative? How did it start? When did you realize that it was bigger than just your family? And how is American Pavement working to turn this into an industry mantra?
Yeah, so American Pavement, like locally, we're known for our red shiny trucks. Everyone sees those around town. So like our sweatshirts and our t-shirts, like even when I was growing up in school, they were always like a hot commodity. Like everybody wanted an American Pavement hoodie, So after giving away thousands of those, it was like at the same time we were building our Instagram, building our Facebook on all of our social media platforms. And I was like, we need a way to like monetize this at some point, So we were kicking the tires about doing like an online American Pavement store. So around that same time, I started messing with some blacktop mantras for everybody, some sayings, things like that. So I came up with Raised on Blacktop, and I actually started making these shirts in my bedroom on the floor. I bought like a silhouette cutter, something like a do-it-yourself vinyl cutter, and bought a heat press and started making these shirts in my bedroom and selling them on Instagram through DM.
How old were you when you did that?
Wow, this is probably only 2 years ago at this point.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So I got like 50 Nike shirts. They were way too expensive, but I made them and I sold them to guys, and I sold them to guys like all over the country. And I was like, wow, this is something brand new. It's new to the industry. And I knew it was something special. And everybody around me, like my family, they're all like, you got something here, so we got to make sure we ran with it.
So with a lot of people thinking that jobs in our industry are kind of undesirable, how are you guys using the Raised on Blacktop initiative to change that somewhat negative mindset that seems to surround our industry?
To me, it's simple. It's just we're shining a light on the industry. We're making it cool. One thing with Raised on Blacktop, even if like I have supporters now from outside the industry that support what we're doing, all of our efforts, and it's more about the hustle now. Just making hard work cool again. Like where I come from, hard work it's healthy, and it doesn't, just because you have a dirty job doesn't mean you have to be embarrassed of it or anything like that. I mean, a lot of people, they go to work, they sit on a computer all day and then they go work out at the end of the day. Like we get to go to work, I work out and I get a tan, so I just want to make working hard cool again. And, I think if we do that, we won't have a shortage of jobs in this industry at all.
And speaking on that note, we're struggling to find workers in this industry. So how can other companies embrace this Raised on Blacktop initiative to help recruit the next generation of workers?
Ooh,
you guys have a lot on your shoulders.
I got a simple answer to that. Just buy a Raised on Blacktop edition paper. That's it. That's all I need to do. No, but really, if they just show off what they do and take pride in their work, I know all I can speak from is what we do. And, we show our work online. We have cool videos online, and that's our thing. But we show off how much pride we put into our work. And that attracts people and attracts the right people. American Pavement, where we live, we've never had a shortage of people trying to get a job. Trying to find good help is hard, but I mean, there's always people that want to come work, whether they can last on the blacktop or not. That's another story. But just through, we put everything we got into our work, and that attracts people. They want to work for, just like in sports, when people want to play for the Yankees because they win, they wear the pinstripes, it's attractive to people. So if you just, get pride in your work, I think that'll attract people in the long run.
Yeah.
And you know what?
We're going to drink to that.
So cheers.
Cool.
So you talked a little bit about how you guys put your work out there and share it on social media, and you guys create super engaging content. So why is it important, on that note, to use social media to attract new people to the industry? Kind of touch on that a little more.
So, social media now, it's like, it's the new phone book for contractors. That's the way I compare it. But you can't compare it to a phone book though. So social media is social media. You got to have fun with it. People overthink social media so much. Like I don't know what to post, or they have another outside company do it. And I just really don't agree with that. It needs to be authentic. It needs to go with what your company stands for. On our Instagram, we like to wow our customers. So when we show our seamless work and our flashy videos and our trucks, rolling into the job, shining, like that's our thing. And so I like to push that. But I just think people, they're going to get left behind if they don't hop on social media, because it is the new internet. I know, for example, if I'm looking for a hotel now, I go on Instagram and look at the pictures of the hotels and things like that. I go to Instagram for a lot of things, or Facebook. I'm not hopping on Google. I mean, right. Definitely not going in the phone book, right? But I think we need to keep social media lighthearted and just have fun with it. Exactly. And,
couldn't agree more.
That's why we started this.
Right. I mean, look at this podcast. It's it's lighthearted, it's casual, and it attracts people.
So tell us a little bit more about your partnership with Leboy. How did you get it started, and where did the idea come out about the custom, and might I add, slick looking Raised on Blacktop paver?
Pretty cool.
Yeah, so it's a little bit of a long story. We've already had a great relationship with Leboy. My dad's he claims, and I believe him, he was the first person to buy a Leboy in Connecticut. This is like 30 years ago now. So we've been with Leboy a while. They're familiar with us, and coming up to last year at the NPE. Long story short, I was on vacation. Are you hearing those things? Oh, geez. I'm sorry. Let me turn that off. Okay. So I posted a video in Key West. This is the story. I posted a video in Key West wearing a Leboy t-shirt. There's a bar. I don't know if you have any guys been to Key West.
I love it. Beautiful.
Right. So you know the bar where you could post $1 bill and write your name on it?
Mm-hmm.
Ever been there?
Yeah.
So I did I thought I was doing a little crafty contest where I wrote American Pavement on $1 bill and I posted it. And I said, if anyone takes a picture of this, I'll send them a free Raised on Blacktop sweatshirt. I should have said the first person because I had like 10 people hit me up. And I was like, whoa. So the week after that, we went to NPE and I met Candace Carpenter from Leboy in the booth. And I walked up to her. I was like, I'm the kid from Key West wearing the Leboy t-shirt. So she said that she does the social media. And I asked her, I said, I want to help out with your social media with American Pavement. We could start tagging you guys, posting our videos in the field. So that's kind of how the relationship started. Fast forward, probably, I think it was around August. I try to look back and find out exactly when it is, but around August, Jim Harkins from Leboy, he's a territory manager. He called me one morning and said they were looking to do a special edition paver. So in the past, they did the Gary Sinise Foundation, they did a red paver. I think it was for essential workers with an American flag, really cool. And in past years, they did a breast cancer paver for the Breast Cancer Foundation. They did a pink paver. So they're like, we want to do something for the family businesses, for the generational contractors. And we feel like Raised on Blacktop would be the right fit for this. So when I heard that, that was like unreal. Because when I started Raised on Blacktop, I swear that was like my biggest goal. I wanted to have like a custom Leboy paver. So for this happening is insane. So this talk started about doing a special edition paver, but we weren't sure if it was going to be one paver or a whole series of pavers. So a couple dealership owners, guys like Charlie Walsh, he's the VP from Stevenson Equipment, Jeff from Ambrose Equipment, big Leboy dealers, they got behind this and it sprung into doing a real special edition paver, more than just one, something that, more pavers could buy. So, I mean, it was kind of a snowball effect, really.
Yeah. And so talk to us a little bit about the machine. So we know it has some exclusive features that your crew kind of helped develop with the Leboy engineers. So how do they come about and how do they really help your crew be more productive and comfortable on the machine?
Yeah. So, I mean, the paver is sick. Wait till you guys see it. It's not only is it stylish, like it has an exclusive gray paint scheme. It's got carbon fiber decals, reflective decals, a red leather seat, which has never been done. I mean, people ask why red leather seat. It's like, there's a white one now. Why not have a red one, right? It's like a sports car. But besides that, so when you're working on a paver, and pavers know this, we got to carry tools with us, especially in a small paving company. I run the paver and I shovel and I rake, and my raker guy, he shovels, everyone's doing everything. So we got to always keep our tools with us. It's not like we're a union company and the shovel guy just stands next to the paver and holds the shovel all day. So we're always carrying tons of tools on our paver, and there's not really a good spot where we can put it on the machine and really secure it. So we felt like we needed to address that. So we have shovel rack carriers, something where you can put your shovel on the paver and it'll clip into a slot. And then we have this new step out where there's a piece of metal underneath the step where you're going to be able to put your rake in there and lean it against the paver, and it's going to stay there. We updated the lighting, which is a problem that a lot of people ran into. It's not so much for night paving, but it is for those days that these guys get stuck in the dark. They can flick these lights on, so they're going to be able to see inside the paver. You're going to be able to see down and ahead, and there's a big light bar on the front. So not only that, and we have a phone box now. We're going to have a way to put your phone on the paver. This is not promoting phone use at work, but let's be real. It's like one of our biggest tools at work, and it needs to be handy rather than it being on your pocket or falling off the paver. So we're going to have a spot where the phone can sit for the operator up top. And then we're doing also a weatherproof ticket box. So sometimes when we're paving a road and we have to collect the tickets all day, like the tickets are flying off the paver. Some guys stuffing them in their pocket. They get lost. So now there's going to be a weatherproof ticket box where you could take the ticket from the driver, throw it in the box, and be done with it. So this is all really, it's so focused towards the everyday paver. It's things that we always wanted. And I feel like if we want it, other paver contractors want it too. So I'm really excited to get this in the hands of guys all over the country and see the response. I think it's going to be great.
That's awesome and super helpful, I bet. So Matt, tell us your favorite thing about the asphalt industry.
And we always say the smell doesn't count because that's our favorite.
Ooh. So besides the smell, I would say, what keeps me in the industry is American Pavement. I mean, I know that sounds a little selfish, but the way we roll, we put so much pride into our work. My dad really started that business from the ground up, and to see what it is today and to see kind of the movement we're making, it really, it's like addicting. The results are addicting. So I would say American Pavement and just the pride we put into our work and wanting to just do better every day and innovate. That's what keeps me coming back. Really.
Awesome. We love this industry for the people and for stories like yours. So, okay, last question. We ask this to everybody. What is the one thing you cannot wait to get back to doing once this pandemic finally ends?
Oh, you can name a bunch of things. I know these Zoom calls are getting crazy. When people are talking over each other back and forth, those are annoying. But I'd really say live events. I mean, getting to go to like a concert or a trade show wouldn't it be nice? This paver was supposed to be revealed at a couple of the trade shows, so that would have been really cool. So if we can get back to the live events and trade shows and maybe walking up to a stranger and be able to shake their hand, that'd be pretty cool too, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We can't wait to have a beer with you in person. And we really want to thank you for joining us today and for these awesome shirts. These ones are exclusive to the Leboy partnership, and you can purchase your own and learn more about the Raised on Blacktop initiative at raisedonblacktop.com. So thank you so much, Matt, and have a great weekend. Cheers to you.
Thank you guys so much. I had a blast. Thank you. Cheers.
So it's really no secret that our nation is facing a growing backlog of maintenance projects on our roads and bridges and everything, but there's just no money to do anything about it. So despite what's been touted as a bipartisan issue, Congress continues to argue over other priorities instead of focusing on infrastructure. Republicans in Congress, they've even said that tense negotiations over the $1.9 trillion coronavirus relief package may pose challenges for future negotiations on infrastructure, but still Biden continues to press the issue.
And President Biden actually said this week about infrastructure, stating that America is so far behind the curve that the nation, we rank 35th in the world in terms of infrastructure in everything from canals to highways to airports. So during the National Asphalt Pavement Association virtual annual meeting this week, we listened as experts weighed in on where they think the industry should focus their efforts.
Yeah, so Congress, they're trying to stretch what infrastructure means, making the bill include things like broadband access, waterways, and they're trying to include green initiatives. So they're really broadening that word infrastructure to mean more than just roads. So experts like Stan Bass, who's the chief growth officer at Vulcan Materials, he said that we really need to focus on the highway program. And when we talk about infrastructure to our congressional leaders, we can't assume that people on the Hill know we're talking about highways. Bass said it's important to make it known that we need a multi-year surface transportation measure, and that no matter what other infrastructure is captured in these funding packages, we need to focus on surface transportation package.
And those green initiatives that Jess just mentioned put the road building industry at risk, especially as vehicle transitions to electric or gas tax revenues continue to dwindle. So Democrats have come not come up with a clear proposal to replace the gas tax, which has been the traditional source for funding for surface transportation infrastructure, leaving the Highway Trust Fund in dire need of new funding mechanisms.
Yeah, that's right. And these experts made it clear that the initiative to raise the corporate tax rate, which is being considered for infrastructure funding, it's not really the way to go. So the Highway Trust Fund, it's funded by the gas tax, which is, of course, a user-based fee. If you don't drive, you don't pay for gas. But if we push a corporate tax hike, that pushes us towards eliminating the Highway Trust Fund, which won't give states the visibility to see the money that they're going to have to build long-term projects. And that's a problem. If states can't see what money they're going to have, how do they know what projects to invest in?
So instead, the experts touted more sustainable user-based fees to fund our infrastructure. Things like vehicle miles traveled or other user charges are going to be the best option for long-term sustainability. John Janes from Associated Asphalt said we need to work to find funding mechanisms that are balanced, equitable, and sustainable, something that reflects usage and consumption.
Yeah, so as long as there's money going in, we're going to be happy. And let's drink to that. Cheers. So as the paving and construction season quickly approaches, although not quickly enough as there's snow coating almost the entire nation this week, we want to continue to make sure that you're getting everything up and ready and maintained at the asphalt plant this week. So maintenance there is more important than anywhere else. So today we're going to talk about some tips for completing that off-season maintenance at the plant.
And first thing, you want to check that drum because the drum is truly the heart of your asphalt plant. And this component should be checked on a regular basis during the paving season, but during the off season as well. You should do a more in-depth investigation, making sure that you check that drum shell thickness for wear, clean, check, and tune the burner. Change oil in drive reducers, check the bag house to ensure bags are in good shape, and check the trunnions for excessive wear or uneven wear, and check the bearings for excessive play.
So if you do see excessive wear or reduced thickness along the flighting or shell, the material should be replaced. Repair and replacement of these components will help minimize fuel consumption and maximize the life of the dryer shell. Specifically, the combustion flights can make a significant impact on both your fuel consumption efficiency and your emissions, which is getting big. People are going to be tracking emissions soon. So the trunnion should also be repaired or replaced if they have experienced wear beyond the hardening point or have severe metal flaking.
So next, you want to monitor the batcher and the silo system. So the batcher and silo systems are two of the most important pieces of equipment on the asphalt plant when it comes to battling mix segregation and safety storing your mix. The silo cone should be thickness mapped on an annual basis, and at a minimum, perhaps more depending on the amount of tonnage. So thickness gauge readings should be taken all along the length of the circumference of the cone section and up the silo sidewalls, depending on how the silo is operated and how much is filled and pulled down below the cone level on a daily basis. So this measurement and mapping should be done for each silo on a routine basis to closely monitor how much wear has occurred.
So moving on to the batcher, when this unit has problems, its gates are chained open to ensure the job moves forward. Mix quality suffers, but the price of a shutdown for repairs to the batcher are deemed excessive, as long as the mix is accepted, it doesn't matter. But with a little foresight, this whole scenario can be avoided. So we have some tips for that. So first, you want to inspect the batcher sides and cones for thin spots. Mark for any plating that may be required. Look closely at the gates and their pivots. Are they loose? Do they need to be greased? Mark for repairs and abnormalities if you find any. So then you want to examine the air actuation system because failures here are the primary cause of batcher problems. Check the air cylinders for excessive wear. Substandard air hoses should be slated for replacement. And the same inspection protocol is used for the storage silos as for the batchers.
It's bachelors out there on the plants.
Watch those. Check the structural thickness, especially in the cone area. Mark any thin areas for repair or replacement. Beer break?
Yes, please. Those bachelors.
I gotta get it together.
It wouldn't be hops and highways without something like that.
No.
Mm-mm. So we could have a whole show on just the subject of the dryer and mixer maintenance, as dryer flighting and mixer tip condition is imperative for adequate aggregation, moisture removal through the hot mix asphalt blending. So conditioning, showering, and combustion flights need to be inspected for wear or damage, replacing or repair as needed. Inspect each and every flight and mixing tip for the following problems. So excessive wear, heat curling, impact bending, and crack or absence.
So you want to make sure you mark for replacement any flight that exhibits any of those problems. Obviously, any that are cracked can be welded, and those that are worn or missing must be replaced. Mixing tip wear needs to be evaluated periodically or when blending quality of the asphalt mix appears inadequate. These mixing tips are reversible to allow increased service life. Drum buildup removal should also be performed in conjunction with rotating the mix tips.
And giving the combustion system a tune-up, solidifying the screening system, and checking the conveyor are also hugely important. We have a link that we'll share with the tips on how to make sure those are completed and correct.
Yeah, so as always, make sure you're checking with your plant manufacturer to make sure you're completing regular maintenance checks throughout the production season, but make sure you contact them during the off season if you see any issues or have any questions. Do it now before the season starts to make sure that your plant is ready to make that hot mix. We're going to drink to that.
Cheers.
That is a good beer.
Good, I'm happy. So that's all that we have for you this week. Again, congratulations to Cameron Davenport, our Koozie winner for this week. And look for the link later tonight to sign up and win yours next week.
Yeah, so be sure to join us on the show next week as I will be broadcasting live from Nashville with Sandy Draper. She's the Director of Inside Sales Operations at Work in America, and she's going to talk to us about growing up in the business, just kind of like Matt did, but about all the amazing opportunities the asphalt industry has brought to her and that can bring to others who are seeking fulfilling careers. So thank you all for joining us today and stay safe out there. Cheers.
Cheers.
Watch Hops and Highways live every Friday at 3 p.m. on Asphalt Contractors' Facebook page, or catch the replay on forconstructionpros.com/videos.